We have a saying around here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, no brains, no headache.
Hello, boys.
What's up? What's up?
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
That intro just gets me going every single time.
Yeah, I know. I still don't know like the words of it. If you ask me to sing along, no idea.
Eminem front.
Yeah, it's like me trying to sing Morgan Wallen, and then Jordan's just like, "You don't know this song." You're like, "You're right."
I believe the words are Eminem ton because he made a ton of money. Oh. Eminem Tums. Wait,
I could actually use some Tums.
Yeah. Well, it's a No Brains, No Headache podcast. Let's not get too off track here. Get a little hee-haw and do-si-do. That tends to happen every once in a while. Matt's got the Tums going. He's my co-host today. I'm Jordan Weichel. Episode 159. The number keeps on growing. We're recording on a Monday evening, and it is just absolutely gorgeous outside, and we are here in the studio. I have the one window, because we probably huge fire hazard. We blocked off our other window.
If this house goes up, I'm dead. Even if I'm not in it.
If this house goes up, I'm going down.
Yeah, going down.
I got the window propped open because the AC is just blasting, and it's a real battle of the hot and cold over by the window.
The studio sits kind of in like a purgatory land. Like whatever the rest of the house is, the studio is probably different.
Yeah, the studio, just basement corner room. The door is always shut. I don't even let Sandwich the cat in here. Strict rules about it. He's really jealous about it. Constantly trying to get in here, and we're just battling right now. Just a few episodes ago, I was just saying you gotta dress not for the weather, for the air conditioned bar. And that reminds me, I forgot a sweatshirt for later. God damn it, nipples are gonna be hard.
Oh, rock hard. Just grab something out of the closet and. I was hoping you were going to say it, and then wear it down there. But let me just
159, man.
Yeah, let me shoot something by you here.
Okay.
How do you feel about adults with braces?
I mean, it's not like ideal.
It creeps me out.
I'd say it's ideal. Let me take a sip of water and I'll expand more.
I see an adult with braces, and that's all I can focus on. It's like if they have a mole or something, I am just locked onto that mole.
I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying it's not ideal, but I understand why people do it, and like ultimately, I think it's worth it most of the time. If they're upset about their smile or just, like me, for example, I had braces when I was younger, and then I did not wear my retainer.
Yeah, I had it twice,
and I got a Will Ferrell bottom row of teeth going, but.
I have a permanent retainer on my bottom teeth that got put in when I was like 11, and I'm pretty sure they forgot about it.
Is it still there?
Yes.
How do you eat?
It's behind my teeth.
I can't. Let's do a dental examination another time. But
it's literally like it's been in there so long. It's like I don't even know how I'm gonna die with it.
I mean, if is it holding your teeth in place?
I'm assuming so, because every time I go to the dentist every 5 years, they're like trying to floss it, and they're just making me bleed because they're like ramming something in between it. Yeah, it sucks.
Are you happy with your smile?
No, I mean, I'm not happy with anything with my life. You know me, I fucking hate myself, so.
Got that, Monix? Nope. Great.
What kind of fucking question is that?
It's not great when like I'm struggling to keep the positive vibes, and then I'm surrounded by you like more than half the time. It's just like, okay, something's got to give.
How are you feeling today? It's a loaded question.
Yeah, I think somebody asked me, at a family gathering, breaking bread. Somebody asked me what's new. I just nothing.
Well, let's see here.
There's all sorts of new things going on, but it was just like same old.
Yeah, same shit, different day. I think I say that 3 times a day.
I think though I was experiencing an interesting hangover for the ages. Definitely got after it, so to speak, a few days prior to that, and it was like I was peaking. Like when you do mushrooms, you kind of like peak, like you start to get stoned and high or whatever, and then you like peak. My hangover was peaking.
Oh.
Where I was like, I started to get dizzy all of a sudden. I had like a headache and a stomach ache just all at once, and like a rack of ribs right in front of me, and it was just like, oh god, this is like
trying to formulate a sentence is just damn near impossible. It's like, how are you doing? And like all you have to say is good, and you're like, ugh.
It was wear sunglasses the entire time because I didn't want anybody to see me.
Just fall asleep mid dinner.
Well, I don't know. The ribs seemed to cure me though. I felt a lot better after that, but
instead of the sober sweats, you get the meat sweats.
Yeah, I went to the rodeo over the weekend and had some fun. So just a little slow moving early week. That's been known to happen before. It will happen again. And I get to work today, and of course, I have to taste test some booze, and I was just like, oh, fuck me. Like of all days, I'm usually excited to at least taste some booze or like, I don't know, start drinking.
Oh, here's a good one for you. Have you ever been so hungover and then you go to church the next day and you have the drink of the wine at church and like your stomach actually feels a little bit better just because you're detoxing so hard from booze?
Matt, I don't know if you know me very well, but I haven't been to church on a Sunday or non-holiday in...
Oh, yeah, I haven't. I
don't even know.
Back in college, maybe I'd go every occasional time, and
so I don't know why you're asking me if I've ever been hungover and went to church.
Well, I'm assuming you have at some point in your life. You probably went for a while there.
You need some water?
No.
Do you want a beer or something?
A White Claw.
You want me to grab you one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, there was a lot of drinking this week. Not so much in the podcast, but thank you. Everyone else in the country decided to do it, and it was fantastic news articles. Bob Huggins, the Huggy Bear, West Virginia coach, got a DUI. And the situation is rather comical. If you don't know Bob Huggins, West Virginia basketball coach, he's number 4 on the all-time list of...
Yeah, he's got that slick back hair and a big old schnoz on him.
And he's one of the coach I respect is because he doesn't stand the whole time. I'm pretty sure he has a stool a lot of the times and just sits down. He's like, I don't need to be standing the whole time.
It's true.
He, a couple months ago, went on live radio and said the new F word twice to just double down on it. And everyone was like, that's just Huggy Bear doing Huggy Bear things. And then he got a DUI and he blew .21.
It was at 8:30 p.m. too, so he was putting in the work early on. He was day drinking.
Yeah, and apparently his car was just littered in beer cans, which was fantastic. Not. And then he thought he was in a different city and state. So Bob Huggins must have been on a bit of a bender.
I'm also reading the article now, and it said that the driver's side door was open, and he had a vehicle with a flat and shredded tire as he's just blocking traffic. That it's definitely one way to attract attention to yourself and potentially get a DUI.
This just gets better.
Like if you're gonna D-dub, you abide by all. And I'm not advocating for it by any means, but if you're going to, you abide by all rules unless you want to get caught or cause some harm, which is the worst result that it could happen.
And if you're driving around on your rim and sparks are shooting up.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like happened. You're just a shredded tire. Like if a flat tire doesn't just shred right away unless you're...
And I don't know where he was, but he thought he was in Columbus, Ohio. But I'm pretty sure he was in like Pittsburgh. Which, I don't know. I'm sure Columbus and Pittsburgh are decently close to each other. Like, relatively speaking to the entire world, but not so much when you're in a different state.
I mean, okay, yeah, I'm reading the article. He made homophobic remarks on Cincinnati radio.
Yeah.
It's going to be a classic run-of-the-mill apology. A slap on the wrist. He's going to be coaching in no time.
He already resigned, actually.
Did he?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I mean, he's 1,000 years old, so he could just retire. And
How old is he?
2 years will go by. He's not
69.
Yeah.
Good age.
I mean, Jim Boeheim coached till he was like 98 and peeing his pants. So, I mean, he could do it, but I don't know. I think he could just retire. Everyone's going to forget about it in 2 years, and he's going to be elected to the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Oh, this is not his first DUI.
Oh, I could have told you that for free.
Also got ousted from Cincinnati in 2005 for a DUI.
That's how he like wants to be fired from coaching jobs. He just gets a DUI and then gets another job.
I mean, good coach. Not the best drunk driver.
Yep.
Apparently.
That's not the only DUI that happened.
You got one.
No, I didn't drink this weekend.
Wow.
Besides those beers I had with you on Fridays, but those don't count.
No. Happy hour beers don't count
Yep.
on Friday right after work.
Unless the happy hour bleeds in. But this one didn't. Got a nice early night in, so it was good. But this guy, the bus driver for the Pittsburgh Pirates, driving them from Milwaukee to Chicago for their series, and that's about an hour drive. The bus driver got a DUI.
Was the team on the bus?
Yes.
That is badass.
The bus driver got a DUI, and my favorite part about it is he got a DUI with a police escort.
It's not great.
So the police escort actually pulled him over, and he got a DUI.
How could he tell he's being pulled over in the police escort?
I'm assuming that the cop in front of him turned around and then pulled him over.
Don't they have them trailing also
I think so, but I'm
with their lights on?
the lights are on, but I don't think the sirens are going. So I think once the sirens go, I don't know a lot about police escorts. I've never gotten one.
I'm just curious
I will never get one.
how we go from a police escort to the drunk driver understanding that this is no longer an escort. I am pulling you over.
He just kept going, and then they got to the stadium, and then he's like, "Here's a DUI."
Is that what happened?
I don't know the full story. It came out like this morning, so I'm not entirely sure. I'm sure more will come out about it, but I just think it's hilarious that he got a DUI from the police escort.
He probably was told the manager hey man, I can't drive right now, and the manager's like, you got it, you're fine.
I got a little bit of a cold. There's just vomit all over him. And then in some local news, not really sure if this was a DUI, but I think you saw it. Some guy backed his car into the Missouri River.
I did not see that.
He was down by the river, obviously. And he was back. He was backed into his parking spot and apparently didn't speak a lick of English.
That does not help.
And so the cops went up to him and they're like, "Sir," and apparently there was a huge language barrier, thus the not speaking a lick of English. And so he tried to drive away, but his car was backed into the spot and he had his car in reverse. So he floored it and basically just backed up over the embankment and into the river.
It's great for the environment.
Well, they had to pull the car out.
Oh yeah.
And there was so many people taking pictures of it because it happened at noon, but they didn't get the car out until the next day because they couldn't find it. It went that far into the river.
It was fully submerged.
Yep.
Shit.
And so the next day, of course, they're pulling it out and a million people are taking pictures of it saying, "You can't park there." It's classic joke. I get it. But when 48 other people have already done it, maybe don't do it.
There's nothing in the rule book that says you can't play drunk.
No, actually, there is.
I actually did not see any pictures of this. This is all news to me. I had somebody come up to me the other day when I was at work. Also didn't speak a lick of English and tried to use a translator app, but then the sentence didn't make any sense. And basically where I work, there's a restaurant nearby that everybody comes and asks, "Hey, is this place?" And it's does it look like a restaurant here?
Does it look like I serve pasta?
No. Exactly. There's no pasta here. But I just direct them down the hallway, and it's right there. So that's what I thought he was there for. And I tried to, apparently, pointing doesn't work either. I pretty much just said, I don't know how else to explain it.
You take out some airport markers and you're doing that?
Or just wrap a leash around him. Get over here. I don't want to lose you. But yeah, and then he did not go down that hallway and just left the building. And I was just like, yeah, just a little bit of advice. Like, if I'm going to go to a foreign country where I don't speak the local language, I'm probably going to figure out a way to get over that.
Yep. Well, I wrote this down in my notes.
Not
too,
through a translator on my phone.
that being drunk and being in a foreign country are very similar. One, you don't know how to drive. And two, you can't speak the language. Because when you're drunk, really drunk, you don't really speak the language.
Yeah. I reflect
don't.
on my weekend, and it's just like, what was I saying?
Yeah.
Or it was a weekend where, like, you know, I got after the drinks. There's no denying that. But I also saw so many different people and had so many different conversations. I was like, one came to mind, and I was like, wait, who was I talking to, like, about that with? And it's like, was it because I was drunk? I'm sure that doesn't help. Or was it the fact that I had about 75 different conversations in a 2-day span where I'm just like, I don't know, I just saw a bunch of people I knew.
Yeah, I really like that, but at the same point, like you said, it's so hard to like backtrack and be like, okay, did I talk to this person about it? And then so I just avoid the conversation the next time in hopes to not have the same conversation again.
And then you're hitting on hot friggin' chicks, and you're like, wait, what did I say to her again?
Oh, when I get
What kind of lie did I?
When I get super drunk, I cannot remember anyone's name. Like, I'll be like, hey, my name's Dave. And I'll be like, Matt, nice to meet you. And like 30 seconds later, I'm like, what's your name?
Yeah, guilty over here. a lot of names went in one year and out the other. Well, running for mayor. There's no wheelchair kids around. I was in full mayor mode.
I'll tell you what's between your ears, your nose.
Okay. What does that mean?
I was trying to transition.
Oh. You want to do cocaine?
Sure.
Oh. Yeah, a couple weeks ago, I was, eating some spaghetti, and I was just kind of bored, hanging out with my brother, and he's like, hey, do you want to wax your nose? Like, I have all this stuff here. My wife does it all the time. And I'm like, yeah, sure, let's do this. And because I was bored and eating spaghetti, like I mentioned. Nothing like spaghetti and nose waxing.
So was this the first time you waxed your nose?
Mm-hmm.
You waxed your nose for the first time because you were quote unquote bored?
Yeah, I wasn't really up to much that night. Trying to just take it easy. I got to do that every once in a while.
Oh, yeah.
Surprisingly, I do manage to do that like once, like one night out of like a 6-week span.
Yeah, you got to recharge the old batteries.
No, it was actually the day after a comedy show, and I kind of like got a buzz going on at lunch, so I was just like tired.
That happens.
I still drank. I was drinking. Anyway, he waxes my nose, and as you can see, he took part of my fucking mustache with. It's been like coming up on 2 weeks now, and I'm not seeing any regrowth in my mustache. And pretty upset that I went with the old Friday night nose wax service at my brother's house. I guess that's, you pay for what you get. I didn't pay him anything. I actually ate his spaghetti for free. So that's what I get. Have you ever gotten your nose waxed?
No, I haven't even like trimmed my nose. The only time I do it's like when I go like grab a hair and then just yank it out.
Okay. At that point it's just too long.
My level of nose trimmings is basically, when you get like a new like shaver, what do you call them? Clippers, and they come with the attachment for nose trimmings.
Never done it.
Yeah, I know. I take that and I throw it right in the garbage because I have never used it.
Actually, I think I've tried it a couple times, but it just tickles so much.
And it doesn't
uncomfortable,
work.
And yeah, it does not work, so I don't mess around with that. But, I mean, I'm happy with the nose wax results. Like,
I'm not going to be able to stop touching my nose.
Like, I'm a pretty hairy dude, and the inside of my nose is no exception, apparently, because it was just like, there was more hair on on the wax thing when we pulled it out than I would have ever thought. But then your nose also runs very easily.
Have you ever waxed any other part of your body?
My eyebrows once I conned, not like my whole eyebrow off.
Oh.
It's like the middle part, Matt. Oh. Yeah, I waxed my eyebrows off.
I was like, when was
Why
that?
would you wax your eyebrows off? That doesn't make any sense. No, it was like years ago, and my hairstylist was like trying to like sell me on it and get me to like do it, and I was like, okay, how about we do one for free just so I can like see how it is. And then I pretty much never called her for a haircut again after that. So got a free one. But then I ran into an old friend who I played high school football with. And for some reason in the 10 to 12 years since we hit the old showers after practicing games, he remembered my hairy ass. I was just like, okay, this is weird. And he asked me if I still had it. I was like, what the fuck do you think? Like,
No, my ass is gone.
like it, I have debated, do I get my ass waxed? Do I get an ass wax? I think for a while there one summer I had like people were there was a pool of money that I could have been all mine.
See, I
if
would
just
contemplate
did
it, but I wouldn't want to put my worst enemy through waxing my ass.
Yeah, I don't want anyone near my chili hole.
Yeah, I would need to give myself like a enema,
Why? To
clean out the old area.
Yeah.
I don't actually have the greatest diet, so
Yeah, I just don't know like why. What did he think that I went through or had chemo on my ass?
do you still have your arms?
It was very interesting. The nose wax, the ass wax, a lot going on. Be careful with your waxing.
So there was one time when I was staying in the dorms at my fake college. I went up to this room where we usually like drank on like, I don't know, every day of the week. And I go up there and like the girls were in there and they're all waxing their legs. And then so me and a couple other dudes went in there and we started playing around with the wax and like drinking a lot. And so we were just waxing random parts of our bodies. But it turns out when you drink a lot, your blood gets a little bit thinner. So I waxed part of my legs, just like a strip of it. And literally every single hair follicle just started to gush blood.
What the fuck?
It was not a pretty sight.
I tried this one chili and it set my mouth on fire and I had to drink a 2-liter of Mountain Dew.
2-liter Mountain Dew.
I did an impersonation of that the other day and absolutely nailed it.
I mean, yours is pretty good. Yeah, it's.
Should we each try one? Okay, we'll play it for our listeners. Just a quick little NBNH game. We got to spice up this show. Shit's getting boring lately. Anyway, all right. Chili hole, here we go.
I tried this one chili and it set my mouth on fire and I had to drink a 2-liter of Mountain Dew.
I tried this one chili, set my mouth on fire, had to drink a 2-liter Mountain Dew.
I tried this one chili and it set my mouth on fire like I had to drink a 2-liter. I'll be in the living room.
Matt can't memorize like 7 words.
That's why I can't run for president when I swear on the Herald and the Purple
You're also not
Crayon
35 yet, so.
so you know. Reverse boycott.
You were, a moment ago, you were assuming that I've been hungover at church lately. It's like, I haven't been to church in a while.
I mean, it's good. We're kind of getting some separation.
If anybody does go, pray for me, because I need it.
If you go hungover and you take a sip of the wine and feel a little bit better, let me know, because I've been there. Reverse boycott. The Oakland A's.
Oh, yeah.
They went to their idea of, hey, let's save the team is let's actually show up. And their reverse boycott, I think it got like 20,000, like maybe half the stadium, if like, and that's being very generous. And they basically were chanting like, don't sell the team or save the team. I saw videos from it and it was like terrifying. I've never seen a Cubs game that was even remotely close to being that empty.
According to SB Nation, over 27,000 fans made it.
The place seats like 54,000.
The exact total in attendance was 27,759, over triple the average home attendance this season. They
That's
don't even
because I'll
average
let-
10,000.
Yeah, and no wonder the team's moving. It's like they're like, sell the team and then get us a new owner who'll keep us in Oakland. It's like, I don't know if you know this about, I don't know, the world. No one wants to be in Oakland right now.
I mean, I feel like that's just classic Californians being like, we're not going to give a shit about this team for years, but the moment they threaten to take it away, it's like, let's show up for one game, guys.
Yeah. Reverse boycott.
I don't know, and it's very clear that Californians don't understand how economics or business works. If you're a professional baseball team, and we all know it's the Oakland Athletics, Moneyball, they have a very small payroll in relation to the rest of the league. I think it's the lowest. The Rays are down there too, which is ironic because they played the Rays at this reverse boycott. But for business or enterprise to keep going, you need to make money. How you make that money is ticket sales at a game, and then they just refuse to show up, but still want to keep it there. I am confused.
It doesn't make any sense, especially because they're the last stadium that's still in existence. So in the 90s, the big thing was football and baseball combined stadiums, and they were the last one to do it combined. And the football team is like, that's not going to work. Oh, there's this town that's 400 miles away that's remarkably better in every single way. Let's move there. And I say 400 miles, and I have no idea. It might actually be less than that.
This article says A's fans deserve the Oakland Athletics. They don't deserve their crappy ownership, though. I don't understand. Is there something I'm missing here?
If I had a choice to be in Vegas as a sports team or almost anywhere else, I would choose Vegas. No other city in the country gets that type of tourism.
And you could just go throw a bet down right before your game and then throw the game to favor your bet.
Streak on the field. Like, is there going to be a streaker? And you're like, plus 10,000.
You're the left fielder. Just, here we go. Just drop trout. Just, nice.
What do they do that? Like, is there a uniform malfunction if the left fielder just wants to play naked?
I don't know. Maybe they should do that. Maybe that would bring more people to the Oakland Stadium.
Just a sunburn on your dong.
Dong?
Dong burn?
Wait,
that
sunburn on your...
It's no bong. It's for my schlong.
Can't get this bong to light. But that got me thinking, where would be the best place to win a championship? So, like, let's say you're from there, but let's say you're playing an away game in a game 7 or something and you win a championship and that's where the team's partying. It has to be Vegas, right?
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right away I was going to say like Boston if you're like the Red Sox.
Oh,
and you
yeah,
win at
if
home
you're
or
the Red
something.
Sox, but it's like Vegas is like clear. If you're a home team, I would say Boston or Chicago.
I mean, if you're a professional athlete, I'm sure LA would be just fine.
Oh, yeah. Except for no one in LA actually cares about sports.
Yeah, but if you're like...
Unless it's soccer.
I don't know. If you're like... Who's like the most popular party animal in the MLB right now? Do they have anybody?
I think Philly would be fucking nuts, but that's...
I don't know about
That's
that.
just Philly being Philly.
I'm just saying, if you win, if you're Mike Trout, let's just say, and it's not fair that he plays for the Angels for this example, but say you're like a Mike Trout. Say you're Marcus Stroman. He parties. He's a pitcher for the Cubs. He wins the World Series in LA. I guess he'd have to play the Angels for this to make sense. I'm really digging myself a hole here.
Yeah.
Try to stay with me. If you're a celebrity status professional player and you win in LA, I'm sure you would have a lot of friends or other celebrities in LA ready to party with you.
Yeah.
Is all I'm saying.
I think the after party and places you could go in LA would be awesome.
Miami
would be unreal.
Miami Heat, Miami Marlins, Miami Dolphins.
One that I thought would suck would be Toronto. Like if you're the Raptors and you won, or if you were playing the Raptors.
Unless you smoke the weed, because it's legal there.
But even at the same point, Toronto's so close that they're probably going to be like, hey, let's hop a private jet and go back to wherever they're from and then start to party. customs might get in the way.
Yeah, I guess I would say Miami would be my first one. It's nice. It's beautiful. There's still a lot of celebrity power in Miami. Lots to do. Good places to go.
I can agree with that.
Then I would say, I mean, I'm not personally like a big fan of like LA or California for that matter, but if I am a professional athlete, I would, and it's on a road game, I'd want to win in LA.
You really have to preface that because if I said I would want to be in LA, but I've never been to LA, so it's like, yeah, I would want to be in LA because I totally know what it's about.
Like I just feel like Chicago, and I don't know, it just depends, I guess.
Chicago's so weird too because the stadiums and stuff are so far from downtown. Unless you're the Bears and you know they're never winning the championship in Chicago. So like it's like the Cubs just won the World Series at Wrigley. It's like, everyone, let's go 2 miles down that way and start celebrating.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's like, all right, everyone, get on the subway.
Yeah, and then it just breaks down, and you're trying to celebrate a world championship, and instead you're just
celebrating a bunch of deaths because people just careened off the subway.
It'll happen. Yeah, I would say Miami, LA, Vegas.
I'll agree with that. On the away front, but the home front, I'm saying I like your Boston pick.
Yeah.
I think Boston takes the place, but the other two would probably be either Miami, Vegas.
And it depends on like the fan base. Like gosh, I feel like the Dallas Mavericks and San Antonio Spurs, I feel like, do they have really good fan bases?
I think so.
I feel like every time they won NBA championship, it was like, I feel like I just remembered like the parade is just huge and like the celebration's huge. Obviously, if you're an LA team or Chicago, not even an LA team because they don't give a shit. Like when the Cubs won the World Series in 2016, I can't remember what park they were at. Famous one in Chicago.
Lincoln
Park. It was, wait, are you fucking with me?
No, it is Lincoln Park.
Okay, like not Lincoln Park, the band?
No, it's Lincoln Park in Chicago. It's like the famous park.
See, do you understand why I thought I was fucking with you? Were fucking with me?
Well, you moved on really quick, and then you backed up, and you're like,
I processed it real quick. That place was packed, so it all depends on your fan base and, of course, the city. But, like, are you referring to the Denver Nuggets?
Yeah, no way in any other city that, I don't know if Denver people are just so high that they're so nice to people, but they literally, Aaron Gordon just walked down the street with the fans and was drinking.
Yeah. Well, was
in LA, the starting center for the Lakers could walk down the street and like 4 people would be like, that guy's really tall. What's going on?
Was it true that the Denver Nuggets parade was just terrible?
I'm assuming it was as good as I'm assuming
I saw a picture, but I don't know if it was fake news. I mean, it, like sucking. There's like literally maybe 50 people. You could watch the full replay. How much time do you have?
Well, judging from this, we got about 37 minutes.
Yeah, actually, I do have a meeting soon, so we are gonna have to.
We got time. Not that much time, and I don't really care enough.
Okay. Regardless, real quick, I think the bottom ones would be like, in a way, winning a championship in like Seattle.
Oh God, that would suck.
Seattle would suck. I think I could probably get behind like if you're an NHLer like Ottawa.
Yeah. Ooh, actually, I just thought of one for home. New Orleans would be awesome.
New Orleans.
We didn't touch on any of Florida. I don't
like Pittsburgh
or Miami.
Would suck like an away game in Pittsburgh. I just feel like
to win the Super
Cubs won it in Cleveland. I can't imagine that was great.
Yeah, I mean the
hey, it's going to Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
It's like, oh, let's go to that Bass Pro Shop. That's a pyramid. That's in Memphis. All right, never mind. We don't have anything to do.
Yeah, it would be it'd be rough. Maybe Nashville would be a good home one or away one to win.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Shall we move on?
Yeah, let's move on.
Oh, it's my turn. I don't really have much context here, but I've been saying butter me up a lot lately, and I just think it's a great saying. If somebody says they're trying to butter you up, how do you feel?
Usually it's they're giving me something, so I feel really good. But I also don't like to be buttered up because no one hates me more than I hate me. So it's like, don't give me anything.
Do you want them to hate you more than you hate you?
No, because it's not possible.
How much hate are we talking?
If someone says they're trying to butter me up, I'm like, I don't want to be wined and dined. I just want people to do their fucking job.
So you're saying in a more professional setting, butter up is usually when it happens to you. I mean, I do that too.
But if like we're having a comedy show somewhere and someone's like, oh, we got a bunch of stuff here for you. And I'm like, all right, let's go. In a professional setting, fuck yourself. I just want to get the job done and get the fuck out of there.
I think that, us doing comedy, happy 1 year anniversary, by the way. We've been doing it for a year. Cheers. Good job. It's weird. These things I've been doing lately in my life are lasting. I don't know how to feel about that. It's like I need... It's like that person who gets a new job every 9 months.
My brother.
Just fucking throw him under the bus.
Enough! Do you want my head to explode?
It was a topic conversation. It was just him dunking. And he's clearly the smartest of any of us.
Well, I mean, then you can do whatever you want, I guess. But me doing comedy, us doing comedy, I think it's actually made me a little bit better of a person because I'm focused on ticket sales so much that I'm like, okay, I don't want to piss anybody off. Got to keep everybody on my good side. And it's been forcing me to at least try my best to not be such an asshole all the time. As you know, last episode, I have anger issues.
Comedy's really helped me drink on Mondays, so that's been a pretty good thing.
Comedy has helped me miss work 4 Fridays now.
Nice. I mean, comedy has helped me take people on road trips the day after 2 out of the 4 shows. So,
comedy has made me hate Chick-fil-A because 2 out of the 4 shows that you and I have done, I was hungover the next day. Thought a little chicky filet would help, and we got food poisoning.
yeah, hello, mayor of Butt Piss City. It was so bad.
Not great, especially a day after, like, you're just, thank you, physically exhausted, mentally exhausted, hungover, and you need some sustenance to, like, make you feel better. Hop back on that pogo stick, and food poisoning.
Yeah, everything that was on my insides wanted to be on
Matt,
my outsides.
Matt, come on.
Here comes the meat wagon.
But yeah, butter me up. I do that too to like just friends and people out at the bars and socializing. But I also do it in a professional setting. But
Ooh, I do it at the bars quite a bit. Like when I'm pretty drunk and I fucking hate a lot of people, and I talk to them, and then I usually will like find something. I'll be like, I really like that about you, and it's like, I hate everything this guy stands for.
You actually put a pretty good face on. You turn into a really nice guy. Like there's a pocket there, and I'm not saying after a certain point you turn into an asshole by any means. At a certain point, you turn illiterate, so it's really hard.
Yeah, there's a fine line between Matt being nice and Matt like being like,
and like,
where's Matt at? He's trying to spell the word bathroom.
Some people might think that's an exaggeration, and to those people, I would say, come party with us.
Yeah.
You'll find out real quick. Always seems to find his way home, though, but buttering people up, I think I'm going to keep doing it. It's almost like killing people with kindness as long as you're not too bullshitter-ish. I mean, I'm a huge bullshitter, and I've been doing that a lot lately, but I'm going to keep buttering people up. And it's such a great saying. And that's my talk on butter for today.
Well, I was going to say one last thing. Butter's fantastic.
It is
Because
great.
I made some garlic bread last night.
Really?
And I put, I said but my sister-in-law made garlic bread last night. I bought the bread. But she put like the cheese and like garlic salt in the butter and then like put it on the bread. And then afterwards I was taking the bowl over and I was like,
Just dipping it in.
yeah, that's good. Butter's so good. Like if I have an option between peanut butter and butter on my flapjacks, I'll choose butter. If I want to be a little bit healthier, I'll go peanut butter. But the taste, butter, hands down.
Just because I like this place, I'll give them a little bit of a free ad, but I got a loaf of bread from Bread Poets, and I've been on a real hot turkey and cheese kick, just because it's like...
Ooh, so good.
It's like, okay, well, I have...
Cold cut ham sucks, by the way.
I have bread, I have turkey slices, I got some cheese, then you add the butter on it, and I don't know if it's the butter or the bread or the combination of the two. Really good flavor. Really dynamite flavor. Some of the best hot turkey and cheeses I've had in a while. And you want to know like how lazy one can get? If I almost talked myself out of making one the other day because it was too much work. I was like, dude, I looked at the time. I was like, this will be done in like 7 minutes, mainly because I have to let it warm up. Like,
I mean, I've done that too, where it's like, I could go cook, like I have like pasta or something that I could make, and then I'm like, I also have a frozen pizza, and if I make that, I don't have to stand.
That's true. Been on the frozen pizzas lately?
I haven't had one in forever.
I mean, ever since I moved into the new apartment, I have like, okay, this is a great example, and I'm glad we could just get off subject here, burn up a little more time. For our listeners out there, episode 159, No Brains, No Headache podcast. Since moving into my new place, haven't been eating in bed as much. You remember our debate a while back?
Dude, I had a relapse on biblical proportions of eating in bed this weekend.
It's all right. We've been relapsing on certain things lately.
I got those pita chips that are good with like dip, and I bought ranch dip. Turns out it's just ranch. I got scammed. And so I'm just eating. I'm like, I'm going to bed Friday night. I'm like, you know what? I'll grab these pita chips. I woke up the next morning, shit everywhere.
Point of order question. When you were headed to bed and you decided to get this snack, let's call it, was this after you laid in bed for a while, or you predetermined brought the food to bed?
I predetermined.
Okay, that's bad. See, my problem used to always be that I would like lay down for bed at night and then like, I don't know, watch a TV show or like read or whatever, toss and turn. And then it's just like, I'm about to fall asleep. And then it's just like, you know, it would be good right now. 4 bags of Doritos.
The worst part is when you get the snack size bags and then, so you have like the big box of them, you just keep going and getting them, and then you wake up the next day, your bed night stand is just all.
I've been off the fruit snacks, which is a big change of pace for me.
I mean, so last week I started eating better.
Okay, tell me what you did practically.
I made chicken on the grill and I ate that. And
I did notice your grill was used,
and carrots for every dinner last week.
How did it make you feel?
A lot better. Like I don't wake up in the morning and be like, "Oh God, I'm gonna blow up the toilet."
Matt,
like, I go have a normal shit.
Oh boy.
Ruffy ball! Sometimes when I puke, I shit.
I got my last topic here, and it is about baseball again. I mean, the fact that we're in good sports times and I don't talk about sports, and then now I think every one of my topics has essentially been about sports. When did baseball become so soft?
Oh, just recently, I believe.
So the Stanford pitcher, before they got into the College World Series, and I'll never understand the format of the College World Series. Makes zero sense.
To be honest, I couldn't even start to tell you like how it works.
I get when they get there because it's double elimination, but like before that, it's like super regionals. The number 2 team in the country didn't make it, and it's like, well, that sucks for them. But a Stanford pitcher threw 156 pitches in a game to essentially get them to the College World Series, and people were going nuts. Like, his arm's never going to be the same. It's like, the guy probably will never make it to the major leagues. And the guy even said, he's like, I could probably go tomorrow again if I wanted to. I'm like, that's the guy I need.
I would say it's probably fine as long as like he was okay with it. Like, you know, okay, if you're pitching, if you're at like 110 pitches and like your arm starts hurting and your coach is just like, no, we're keeping you in, that would probably be an issue. But like these athletic feats, if you accomplish them, they should be praised more than criticized.
So how many teams in the MLB do you think have had a pitcher go 9 innings
this season?
Or how many games since the last time they went 9 innings?
I know Sandy Alcantara, however you say it. I had him for fantasy baseball last year, and he was a beast. And I swear he had like a couple games where he went 9, but it was very rare. Like Garrett Cole, maybe.
So there's been
I don't have an answer for your question.
Under 100 games. There's been 9 teams that have had someone throw 9 innings.
For this season so far?
No, like going back to the beginning of time. The Minnesota Twins, or we'll say the Mets, it's been 777 games since someone's went 9 innings for them.
Didn't the Cubs just have
Stroman
do it, and like Hendricks does it all the time?
This is this is about 8 days old, but I'm pretty sure that the Cubs right now on this list, we're at 11. The Cubs had another one before then. Mainly because the Cubs bullpen is a white hot garbage.
Yeah, and by the way, if the Cubs win 10 games in a row at any point this season...
Yep, this season.
Yep. Matt's shaving his head.
Yep. That's one of those coming off the high of comedy night, and I text Jordan it, and he says, deal. And I was like, fuck.
The high of comedy night, it gets out of control. It's like, yeah.
But at the same point, the Minnesota Twins, guess how many games it's been since they had someone go 9 innings?
Their whole... entirety of the program, probably.
It's been over 5 years since someone has went 9 innings for the Twins.
Twins, not great.
How do you accidentally not have someone that's having a perfect game or a no-hitter, like bleed into the 8th inning and then accidentally get there?
I don't know. It's just, it's bad luck. But that's pretty crazy that college pitcher went 150 plus. And was he receiving criticism like on social media or from reporters,
everywhere.
parents?
It was a lot of like reporters or like high school coaches were like, that kid's never gonna recover. Nolan Ryan in 1992 threw 235 pitches in a game and pitched 13 innings.
Did he actually?
The worst part about it is it got scored as a no contest because I think he ended up losing.
That's what you have to do for your team in order to win.
And you know what Nolan Ryan probably did after that? Went and ate a loaf of bread, drank 18 Bud Heavies.
And then kicked the shit out of somebody in a bar fight.
Oh, yeah. Went and grabbed the nearest Mexican and just started feeding them punches.
Probably.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised, but we better move on given the timing here. Facebook Marketplace, we talk about it every week here on the old pod. It's so entertaining. I don't think we have much, but Matt, we do have one there that we've already discussed.
Yeah, this was one I sent you this week. Some guy posted, and this isn't Marketplace. This is our local bizman what's for sale.
We'll just call it Marketplace.
Yeah. But someone posted a picture of essentially a small field and said, hey, I need someone, pun intended, I need someone to come cut this. You can keep the hay. And I looked up what hay goes for, and essentially this would have gotten them about...
How much hay can you get in 2 acres?
I didn't look up that part, but hay goes for it was like $80 a ton, and one of those barrel things.
Looking for someone to cut and bale 2.09 acres of grass. You keep the bales as payment. Might be able to get 2 cuttings this year. Okay, so already planning the second one to keep it down.
And some dumbasses maybe do it, but literally they're going to make $300.
The funny thing is, judging by the pictures, it looks like he's taking this picture from, and maybe it's not him or her or whoever this may be.
It's a residential neighborhood.
Yeah, it looks like they're taking a picture from their deck, and it looks like they're in a twin home. And I mean, last time I checked, usually when you live in a twin, or right, is that what it's called? Twin home. when you live in a twin home, you're not a land developer and you don't own that land. So I'm willing to bet that this is like not their land. They're just like one of those grumpy people who are just upset that there's tall like prairie grass behind their yard.
It's like being near a park and be like, they haven't mowed the park in 2 days. It's like, anyone want to mow this ground? You can keep a child that plays on the playground.
And I guarantee that if somebody like were to come and do that, and if they made like the slightest bit of noise or whatever, they'd be like, who the hell's making all this racket out here?
But think about like the logistics that have to go into this. The guy that does it has to have a hay baler
and a tractor
and something to pull it into this residential neighborhood. They have to do it. They have to take the bale of hay out of said neighborhood and then sell it.
Yeah.
Most people that want to buy hay do it themselves.
How many hay bales per acre? Oh, shit. Wait a minute. Large rectangular bale?
No, don't do anything rectangular.
They say 40 for that one, so
no,
maybe 10.
That's high.
I would say maybe. We need to get a farmer on here. If you know, let us know. Because we don't know.
Because those rectangle hay bales you can carry. Could you imagine carrying one of the circular ones?
Yeah, I'm getting all sorts of different mixed results
and the circular ones go for like
round bales. That's what I need to.
Yeah, round bales. But like I was just flabbergasted.
Okay. First cutting, you expect at least 4 large bales per acre. So this person, if they're lucky, would get like 8.
And this grass didn't look long.
And yeah, so
it's a classic one of those. Hey, I have this humongous tree in my front yard. You can have the firewood if you come cut it down. And then when you were doing tree work, I'm like, how much would that cost you? And you were like, that would be about a $5,000 job. And you're like, okay. So someone's going to give you $8 worth of firewood to do a $5,000 job?
Yeah, or even, let's just say it's like a decent sized tree. I don't know. Let's say it's 40 feet tall. It's, I don't know. Like when you hug somebody, let's say it's that round. You would still need a chainsaw to cut it down, the expertise to do so. Then probably some sort of equipment if you want to transport this, or if you cut it all up, you're still going to need some sort of truck to transport the cut up wood. Then you're going to need a log splitter, unless you want to be fucking Paul Bunyan out there and hit it with an axe. Mind you, it's still probably alive unless it's a dead tree, so still very green. So you're also going to have to let this dry out for about, 2 years would be nice. And then you got to find a place to put all this shit. So the whole come cut down this tree, you keep the firewood as payment is like probably one of the bigger scams. Like there's Mary Kay, and then there's like offering somebody firewood from your tree in your yard.
And then that, I was going to go down a rabbit hole of MLMs, but I won't because we can save that for another episode.
Yeah, we should probably wrap it up.
Episode 160 up next. Make sure to follow us on social media at NBNH Podcast, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. You can watch the episode if you'd like. We'll have some clips out for you. And
one more episode after this, then it's a break for the 4th of July, and we'll finish off the summer strong.
This is a freestyle to the top of the dome. Here we go. And I do it again. I do it only once. Again. I do it only once. I go down that river slow to the place I shoot like Carmelo. I'm living my life and we go hard, floating on the river in a party barge. And I see you on a sea dude. Your shirt was white and it was see-through. Please use your spray, no mosquitoes. Every time you found me, it's a free throw. Hey girl, why you calling me? I said, oh please don't bother me. I'm so sick of apologies. That's so damn appalling to me. But last night was the best night.